can hear you. There we go.
Are we good?
I think we're good. I think this time it's worked out. All right.
What was
So
what was interesting was I was actually watching you. I could hear myself. The introduction started at the same time. But anyway, how are you?
I'm very good, very good. All right. Now we got we got a little screen grab of the furniture there behind. So yeah. So Jeremy, can you just tell us just about what the show is and the icons and what it is all about and what you're doing down there?
Well, this is our end of year showcase, and we do a literally a get together of all the best pieces of the year, and we showcase them in Letterfrack in the ATU Connemara campus. And this gives an opportunity for the students to kind of something to aim for, and we take that opportunity to do it every year. Now we've icons, the name. This is the second time we've done this, and we've had different names over previous years. And this is kind of like our want to give back. We open up the campus is open from 9 to 5 every day, Monday to Friday, and the public can
That's a
come
good
in.
note for anyone that's in the area that if you're actually in Connemara, if you're traveling through, if you're going down to see anything in the area, the college is open, as Jeremy was saying there. So if you want to go in and check out all these pieces of furniture, you can do that as well. I've had lots of family members that still to this day go in and check it out over the summer.
Well, we get a lot of between tourists, locals, and ex Letterfrack students up come. It's nearly a pilgrimage to come and see what the output of the year is.
Yeah. Can you well, one thing that, like, since I went, I realized it was 2010 when I went to that college last, or I graduated in 2010, so it's been a while. And one thing that I've noticed from a technical or interesting point from the woodworker side of things is that you guys have now got your own sawmill and kiln, and you are processing your own timber. And there's a couple of pieces that you're going to show later on as well, and with different materials. I just think that's a really interesting point to talk about and to kind of bring up is just the sustainable ethos and everything that's changed in the college from when I was there to where it is now.
Oh, there's a massive look from first year to fourth year. Sustainability is in the curriculum, and it's in all the briefs. The idea of what's being used and this literally thought process of every bit utilization to put design in terms of why things are the way that they are, and then also to look at from the point of view of that story, the story of where the material came from. As you said, we've been donated materials, we've collected materials. We're 50% self-sufficient in terms of hardwoods, and having our
That's
own.
huge, by the way. For anyone that's still don't know, that's a huge percentage to be 50% sustainable. That's for a college, that's a massive number. There's not many businesses that are anywhere near that percentage.
And it's important for the students to know literally, like one of the tokenistic things that we do from a student every first year sows an acorn, and at the end of their 4 year cycle they get to take that acorn or that tree, that oak sapling, home after the 4 years. So I mean that's how we look at it, that it starts from the journey starts from when they come here, and
That's very cool.
they get to see that material as well. So going out into the woods is part of the process.
And in fairness, it's a great way for the college to sustain its timber use into the future. Get those students to bring back those oak trees in 30 or 40 years' time.
Well, we're also very fortunate to have a community woodland project with the national park. So every year the students on Tree Week plant trees. So there's over 100 guaranteed every year that we literally have procession out to the forest and plant into our native woodlands. So that's something that we've
So cool.
been doing for the last 12 to 15 years. So it's slow.
So wait, what you're saying is when I left the college, all this cool shit started happening.
No, I think it was there. It was just getting started.
It was. We went down to the forest. I remember that in first year. We went down to the forest and we were walking around in there, picking the leaves and drawing the leaves and stuff. No, it's a great college, and yeah, maybe just kind of because it's in Connemara. Like I've I obviously went to the college. I think people ask, they're very intrigued about the college. I think when they find out you went there, they're like, "What's it like?" And you're like, "Well, you immerse yourself in furniture. That's what you do. You go out there and you study and you basically just think about furniture for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
it's
maybe
all
just expand
it's
on
all
that.
immersive because we're at the foothills of the Connemara National Park, so we're surrounded with that beauty. So behind us is the national park, and then to the front of us is the west coast. You know, you're looking at views of the sea and the islands. So we've like looking at Inishbofin, Inishturk, out towards Clare Island, out towards to give you that sense of Croagh Patrick in the distance. So that's what we're seeing here.
Such an amazing place, I have to say. I do miss it every now and again. Every now and again, but maybe if we could just have a look through there. We have some interesting pieces behind you, and I think a lot of things that we're talking about and we're looking at here. I think I'm intrigued about what's the furniture there and what's the. So maybe if we can take a few pieces and we can
Yeah,
maybe go through them.
I'll go through the one behind me is done by a first year at Casey, and this is her. In the way first year works is a number of projects, and then they design a piece. So they're building up the skills, and this piece, when she designed her prototype, she wanted to look at Irish native elm as the piece and the real figurative element, and the brief was the structure within. And in this case, the structure within is using all that material and coming up. She came up with a high stool. So that's Casey, but it's just beautifully finished.
She's a
And
first year, is she?
that's the first year, yeah. And then
We were making chopping boards in our first year. I mean, this is very.
yeah, and then the second year piece behind it, that's the piece from Talis. So this is Talis's final piece. So again, they do four projects. Um, both students are in the design and manufacture program, and the first year, second year, and Talis's piece again. What's really interesting is the element of the structure behind. We've laminated a piece. So he just wanted to incorporate all the things that he felt he wanted to excel at. So he wanted to excel at upholstery, and he wanted to push the boundaries of his learning of in this case 2 years. So that the idea that the briefs allow that imaginative approach of utilizing the timber and then actually pushing out the boundaries of what that can do.
What's that? What's that upholstered with? Sorry, I can't make it out there.
It's just a suede.
All right. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I can see it better now.
You
Yeah,
can see the cantilevered element here, so that
Oh, very nice.
it's
Very
coming down.
nice. Yeah.
So that lovely gap in the flow, so as it's coming down, so you can just see. And his motivation was to be relaxed. He just
Mm.
wanted something that it wasn't just an immersive. He just wanted just to lay back. That was his focus on that.
That's a great idea. That's an interesting design concept. And no, I'm just here to relax. I want to relax. Relax is my ethos. That's the theme. So
To take
very,
it all.
very nice.
And in the background, we have a fourth year piece. I'll just flip up the camera so that this is Ruth. So in furniture and wood technology, they get to do one piece, but they're doing a lot of what I would call management. They're trying to build the skills of more than just manufacture.
Yeah.
And in this case, you'll see that the push, they actually push out and turn. So she's using sophisticated ironmongery and mechanisms in that to achieve a look and a finish. So there's a lot more depth. So also the focus from a fourth year perspective is manufacture. So there's
Yeah.
an element of what can be produced. So production becomes an element more so that we're pushing the costing, the idea of project management. So
Yeah,
that
it's really essential side of business, and essential side that a lot of them will all have to
yes.
achieve is you can't just make all the beautiful stuff. You have to make stuff that is
Well,
cost effective.
the idea that they're kind of ready for industry and ready for all things. What I would say this one's an interesting piece. So
Cool. Is that a little lamp?
it's a lamp, yeah, but it's laminated Connemara marble.
Class. Oh, that's
So
brilliant.
what you have is this strip here. So
Yeah.
what Mark has done, we have well, working with industry, working with people, and actually working with other materials is just as important. So
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
this case, working with Brendan Joyce, Connemara Marble, the idea of looking at materials, seeing what its properties are. In this case, that the marble is actually quite transparent.
Oh
So
wow! Right.
you can actually see. So the idea of the lamp, not only is the lamp functioning as your desk lamp, but
Yeah.
also it's illuminating the marble within.
Oh man, I'd love to see that in like a darked out room. I'd say it'd look class. That's such a deadly
It really
idea.
does, and just pushing out those pieces that being going to contractors, and in our case, what's interesting about Connemara Marble is that the seam of marble goes right through the Connemara National Park is right behind us.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at sustainability or circularity, or the idea of taking materials from close proximity, you couldn't have it closer than Connemara
Yeah,
Marble.
that's as close as the stone will get, I'd say. All right, and particularly, Connemara marble is known worldwide as one of the most beautiful marbles. It's like
Yeah.
to have that on your doorstep is, it's such a blessing. Like,
No, it's a lovely addition, and again, in this piece, this was Aidan's fourth year piece, and he also did the drinks cabinet, and he's incorporated. You can just see another piece of fine Connemara marble.
yeah,
What's
it's lovely.
again interesting about this piece is it's the thinness. So the idea of
Yeah,
veneered marble, so
it's such a
it's just
beautiful
delicate.
concept. Like that thinness is all you need as well. You're just talking about protecting the timber for the drinks and having that beautiful bit of stone. You don't like, yeah, that's it. I didn't even know you could get it that thin. That's beautiful.
But that's the great thing about this. What I would feel pushing out the boundaries is communicating with suppliers, and we have to recognize that in our industry there's more to it than wood as well.
Yeah,
We're certainly ingrained in our material, and that being we're so precious with that, and we recognize that story, but we also recognize the industry story, and the industry story is one that in not just in the furniture industry is vast in terms of what materials it uses, and we need to use those materials and have the students with the knowledge of those materials.
yeah,
So that's it's a fine line between just producing something, but knowing what its properties are, what you can do with it, what you can't do with it. The
absolutely.
idea,
Yeah.
no point designing something. Oh, this is lovely, but then it doesn't work.
Particularly with stone, how much can you suspend it? Can you suspend it? How much thickness do you need for a shelf? All those things that could happen where you don't want it to fracture or crack over time. So, yeah, it's all these lessons, and to know that in college before going out into the actual industry, that's massive.
Yeah. Well, what's in Aiden's study in terms of looking at form and actually putting in motifs, old motifs, and actually these are all CNC'd in and then carved out afterwards. So you've got the production element of being able to create something that's very distinct, but also then the hand element of finishing. So he's really taken a lot of what's needed in the industry and kind of applied all that. But
Yeah.
I get another first year piece button on the ground. I know it's going to get dark and then light, but this is
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so you can see again. This is laminated first year piece,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what the student has done here is just in terms of incorporating metal. So we've got metal legs that he's fabricated himself.
And what's the laminated piece? Is that birch ply, or what's that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
thin pieces. So you've got your uh, 1.5 mil birch ply pieces all laminated to give that curve.
And that's the first year project again, is
That's
it?
the first year piece, yeah.
It's impressive. It's seriously impressive for first years to be exploring and playing with those forms. I think that's really interesting. Really nice work, I have to say.
Yeah, well,
I'm noticing the clock in the background though, so you can't go past that without talking about that because that has caught my eye before.
that is his piece. So that is so that this is uh, Davin's time study. So the idea of a kind of a 2 week interesting get the students back into the mindset from first year to second year, and
Okay.
this was Tatis's output. So the idea again of the thin pieces and applying the dark
Yeah.
versus light. So it's a
Yeah,
great
it's cool.
experimentation.
It's a proper little eye catcher as you're going around the room there. I love it.
No, Tatis, who's also the same student that you've seen in relation to um, here. So you no, the future is bright in terms of between second year and first year. There's a lovely piece by Louis in terms of Ripon Sycamore. So the spring.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
So the idea of something is a simple piece, and it's far from simple, but that's really what the secret is actually being able to create that simplicity into a beautiful form. And
that's a massive thing. It's a massive thing when people woodworkers will look at that and we will see that's a lot of work gone into that. There's a lot of forming on that. And then what anybody else, like the consumer, would pick that up and just be like, it's a beautiful stool. And both are equally a great response. It's the woodworker knows what goes into it. The client just loves the form and loves the shape. And it's like, yeah, that's what I want. I think that's just a beautiful, yeah, I love that stool. I have to say, it's a really nice piece.
But I get the students to look at, at the end of their own, after making those pieces, just to spend time. This was his form study. So the idea of a simple block and what can be created in terms of, this literally exploration. And it's that exploration that allows them to put this exploration into their pieces in the future. So it's like,
that's just the most interesting part about college. And it's like, it's something that, I love that you're exploring that with the students, because college is the time to really explore those kind of things, those forms, those shapes, those, seeing what you can do, because as you get into the industry, it's not as easy to have the time to do that. So that's beautiful, though. It reminds me of Laura Mays's. Do you remember her boxes that Laura Mays did, where she put one in the ground and she burnt one? And that was another one that I was watching that I just thought was just one of those amazing studies.
No, it's quite interesting. I'll do my last first year piece there. Just again, Marcus's piece, just in terms of being able to going out and actually finding materials as well. So we're talking about sustainability, that the found materials can be interesting and can inspire. And him going out, he's a surfer, and to be able to find a piece and then actually see what that's, see a whale in that form, and then come back and do something with it. So I mean, what ICONS is doing is it's allowing the students to give them a platform to showcase their work and show how they've developed, and not just from first year, but it gives every year and every class, because in this group you've got designers, you've got makers, and you've got the education students as well. So you've got the future of our future trainers.
Yeah, it's one of the best things I remember about Letterfrack was that we were all together. There was the makers, the designers, and the designer makers, and then there was the education. And there's a very, it's a small college, so you're very tight knit all together. And I remember that's a really interesting part of it. Like, there's a lot of guys that, we still know from our college courses that are in manufacturing and different areas in design. So it's
this is a lovely, in terms of material and storytelling. This material, so in terms of this is a piece from Lucy's second year, and the idea that she studied in Trinity before coming here. She knew the story of the Trinity maple, so this Oregon maple that was that felled in Trinity College, and we got that tree, and she knew we had it here, and she wanted to explore what could be done with that. And you can see all the burr. So she created beautiful. This amazing rocking chair from it.
It's stunning. Is that like sheep's wool upholstered then as well? Then
no, it's just an overlay. This is just laid down on top.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a beautiful contrast between the material and the form. So and she also played with the idea that there's ripples that she's grooved into the side. So as you're sitting in the seat, you can allow your hand to move up and down. So there's another element of the dimension of being able to relax and sit in and rock, but also get that senses as you're sitting in. So where you just literally putting the piece in, but also just kind of feeling the material.
It's that element of like timber as well. Like I find it's a huge element of timber design is tactile. That nobody really talks about. It's a massive part about you'll see people at furniture shows and they will literally be just touching their hands along pieces, and they will be, the softness. Like I think one of the things that when we teach the class on how to sand and oil the class, people don't realize how soft you can make timber. tactile feel, like how it just, is smooth and silky. So it's very interesting that your students are also thinking about the tactile nature of furniture. It shows a lot of how much is coming out of that college at the moment. It's great.
Yeah, I think, well, the means of storytelling is a big dimension. It's not just about marketing it. It's about, I think, from furniture, that the people that want to purchase it need to know that holistic dimension of why it is the way it is,
Yeah.
where it's that story of where the material has come from, and then the practicality of how it's solving a problem for them. And then that gives a sense of value and a sense of, you talked about the sanding course, but if someone's worked with that material and understands that somebody has put a lot of time and effort into that, there's a sense of value. And I think that's what, we're trying to instill that into our students as well, the value of something. And if we can push that out to see that others can see that value in something and how long something has gone into it and what it can do for them, so that you're passing on that to somebody else. So here, look, if you were sitting in this, you could experience that, and that's something that you treasure, not just for 5 minutes, but for your life and for your family or your future family's life.
It's amazing that, like, the history of the story and the nature of furniture is, especially when you're talking sort of one-off pieces as these pieces are. It's like that story, that connection is vital for the longevity of a product. It talks then about sustainability and all those come into that practice there. If you love that piece, if you like that, it means something. The story, it then becomes just so much more valuable than whatever financial figure is on it.
Because it's like and I'm just picking this one in terms of the Danish chord seat and the light behind it, or the thought behind it, but the idea that the time that goes in, and that how this arm becomes part of your connection and as you're sitting, and so you've got that tactile element of softness and hard, but you've also got that beauty of the actual physical piece. There's just something lovely about how the time that's gone into that, and the materials being, when you're looking at something that's cord, the frame should last a lifetime, and then if this is only worn, this is all that's replaced. So that's a great element on. What else is
so cool? That is that's an interesting clock though you got in the background there. What's that mounted on? That's
that's Jared's. It's oak and leather. So in this case, I'll just bring up. So this is clock. So again, his first year. This is the first project that they did in terms of their study on time, and it just got them to. If you can imagine how that first year moves from playing around with form and texture at the very end, even though they've come up with a final piece. In second year, then they've got these 4 pieces and 4 problems to solve, but you want to initiate a reaction that allows them to explore and allows them to see things that they can literally adapt into their third, fourth, and fifth piece, or their future pieces. So the idea of the carving, so you can see how this undulates all the way in and out. It's like a wave. So it's a wave of time, and then the piece is just hung. He's put it on a stay here, and then just it's there.
It's very simple. It's a beautiful little piece. I like it. That's a very nice piece. So with all these pieces and with all the things, it becomes the most important question of the day, which is, who's your favorite student? And
they're all my favorite students, just like I have my kids. My kids are all my favorite kids.
Is there anything else you want to show us? Or is there a couple of pieces?
I'll just take us out, and let's look at them. In first year, they do these beautiful marquetry boxes.
That's beautiful. I did the marquetry. I remember that. I remember pulling my hair out, but it's incredibly tactile or intricate. Sorry, with the knives. I have to say,
it tells a story of allowing them to experiment as well. Like, you're trying to teach them a range of skills, and it's very important that they have those skills in terms of learning outcomes. But how can you adapt all those skills into one thing? So whether it be utilization of marquetry, but also in this case, it's all dovetailed. You've got the hinges, so the depth that goes into just a box. But each of them And each student, each of these is an individual student with an individual story of why they did that. Now, whether it be something that they feel passionate about, or something literally, wanting to explore. I'm just going to go to. I'm just going around to different areas, and hope this coverage stays good.
Yeah, you're so good. Don't worry.
But this just in terms of, we work with Connemara Marble. I'm working with the Connemara National Park on another outdoor integrated seating. This is a project that Davin, one of our lecturers, he created this showpiece clock to show the students how to literally as a this if you want to show an exemplar model of what you can do for a clock, why not show them? So we, the physical, we just don't do, we practice and we show. And we made 6 of these, sent them to the States. We have connections with Virginia Tech, and they have a packaging department. So they came up with 2 packaging solutions to distribute that clock worldwide.
That's cool. Yeah, that's real cool. That's a yeah. So you're working with Virginia Tech. So okay, then wow, that is.
So the idea of working with people that have, so these guys do the testing in Virginia Tech. They do the testing. They have all the testing for Amazon, IKEA, and to be able to show our students what could be done in terms of packaging and the distribution of their
so
food.
cool. Yeah. That's amazing. That's such a good combination, right? The students to see that. That's so.
Well, this is the kind of thing to be able to show how one can have.
I think I'm gonna have to drop in, Jeremy. That's right up my street. I'm liking this a lot. that's fucking class.
It's nice to showcase kind of really, and this is an exemplar. We're fortunate to have our ATU president, or Finn, was here, and he stopped here for a moment and said, "Well, this is what ATU really is about. It's about that integration of other universities, that knowledge, and incorporating that through all the students. So having these as exemplar elements, which is what's here, and that allows people to see where the bar is, so they can keep moving up. So the bar is only going to keep going up, which is where we want it to be.
Yeah. No, it's such a very inspiring for me as well. I'm like, whoa, that's very cool.
And let's go to another Connemara marble piece.
Wow. I think I saw this piece now. I think was it on the website? Was it you that took photos of this?
Well, what's interesting about this piece, this piece got the Farrell Design Award. So this piece had what Farrell's would consider a well manufactured, well designed piece, and this idea of integrating new materials. So they do a lot of office work, and they pride themselves on their veneering and their jointing, and just the idea of integrating the Connemara marble. And what's really special again is this beautiful. You can just see the door.
It's if anybody, it's hard to make it out on this camera, but if you go to the I think it's on the college. Is it on the college Facebook page or Instagram page? Image-wise, it looks stunning. It's such a great.
It already got a lot of publicity. I mean, if you look this one up in ATU Connemara, or even award, you can see here. See this is all water jet.
Class.
So that gives it that really distinct view that this is one piece of Connemara marble that's being split, and then this is being crafted, cut out literally with a CNC just to create that.
Beautiful. It's such a great, nice integration of the materials. Like it is, it's smooth, it's flawless. It's a beautiful piece, I have to say. It's so interesting to see what the college is doing, and just seeing that integration when you're talking the linking with Virginia Tech. You're talking about what the students are producing from first to fourth year. It's inspiring for me. It's keeping me on my toes. I'm looking at this going, okay. So it's very good, though. I have to say, it's very impressive. It's great to see what the college is doing. I'm just blown away with this, actually, I have to say.
It's lovely that we tried to. But what's here in terms of icons for this year is that the kind of the best of all students from all the different disciplines, which include our apprentices as well. You know, we so this is a showcase of the year's work, which gives aspirations for future students and our, as I say, we talked earlier about our past students coming in and you know, seeing how things are moving on. So it's you know, it's passion, it's that passion that we have to share that.
No, it's stunning, and my apprentice went to you guys as well. Actually, went down and did her apprenticeship down with you guys. So it's great to see the college is what it's doing, and inspiring and pushing designs. And so, if anybody is in or around the Letterfrack area, it's much advised that you get in there. What's the opening times again for the show?
9 to 5, and it's I think 4 on a Friday. But the and what's like, even though we're in the big area, there's 6 areas with over 70 pieces in the college. We're open in terms of that, kind of open to the public all the time. Now we're open all year as well, but this bigger piece here where we are gets another use as well during the year. So it's like we always welcome that the idea of coming into the front lobby and seeing the pieces. They're there all the time. So if someone was dropping by even in September, October, there'll be pieces here on show. So there's never a bad time to drop in to see us.
Yeah, I couldn't advise or couldn't agree more. It's truly is. It's one of those things. It's great to see. It's good to have that little view of all the different pieces and seeing the different materials, seeing the integration of the materials. To me, is amazing. You know, we have the metal, you've got the stone, you've got the glass, you've got, you know, working with timber. Like as a furniture maker, that's what we're doing every day. You know, it's not just timber; it's the integration of all that. You're talking about the manufacturing students with the, you know, the pocket doors, the hard, you know, these are all the things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, that the students, to see them doing that and to be exploring and experimenting with these, it is really inspiring. I think there's a lot of good you know, sorry, the way you were talking actually just about the boxing and just showing the level, bringing the level up. I think you're absolutely spot on with that. Like when college students leave the college with that, seeing how good things can be, they're going to bring that with them, and they're going to expect that excellency and higher for their own careers. So
it's like a project that I'm just finishing up now. We started a project with the national park with this integrated outdoor seating from a commercial perspective. Now the storm let it down. That it lost us 2 months, but at the moment I'm finishing it up because the idea that I want to show that the students' ideas can come to fruition. So the idea of showing that, so we will have a place that people can go up to the national park and actually sit on, you know, ATU Connemara seats with Irish oak, and that idea of working with NGOs gives the students a real perspective of what the world is as well, so that they're working in a practical environment, so that the idea of what they're nurturing here in terms of good design, pushing out the boundaries, can then be brought into the workplace. So and then they're getting that experience already on placement, but they're also getting it from working with, you know, government agencies and seeing how jobs can do and actually contributing. You know, I think that's a good thing, and I personally love you know, the connection that we have with these agencies and our local established companies. You know, the Connemara, the Joyce's craft shop. You know, Connemara Marble, the Interface Ina. You know, these are very important elements to what we're very much a community, and we're building that up and then showcasing what we can do.
So, in short, there's a bright future ahead.
I would like to think so. You know,
yeah.
If we could only fix the weather here in the West, would be great.
Yeah, don't even worry about that. It's all good. Listen, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me on. I really appreciate it. It was really good. I have to say, I loved every minute of it. So, yet again, if you're in the area, please drop by and see the works. It's really exciting stuff. So, I think we'll leave it at that, Jeremy. Thanks very much.
Perfect. Listen, have a great day, and I look, hope to see you all again soon.
Bye.